those of you who have been following my blog, you will know that I have become increasingly obsessed by otters. Ever since seeing them up in Scotland last autumn, I have dedicated a lot of time to trying to find and photograph otters local to me here in Oxfordshire. Unfortunately, until quite recently, the sight of an otter on an English river has been quite a rare sight. A couple of reasons for that. There have been centuries of persecution, but also poor water quality has really played its part. Thankfully, their numbers are on the increase, and it is now possible to see otters on every major river system in the UK. Having said that, finding one is definitely a daunting prospect. They are quite elusive creatures, and I will freely admit that this project almost died a death at least twice, just because of how difficult I have found it to try and find them. But thankfully this week I have seen and photographed an otter. So in this video, which I hope may be the start of a little series, I will share with you guys the photos that I took and also a step-by-step guide of how I managed to find and photograph my first English otter.
So first of all, I needed to decide where to direct my efforts, which meant studying maps. I was looking for a relatively sizable river, not just a minor tributary, in that there needed to be enough prey in there to sustain an otter, or hopefully a family of otters. I wanted there to be a public footpath running alongside, at least for part of the route, in order for me to have access, and not too near a built-up area.
I decided on some places to visit and then spent the next few weeks going to these spots looking for signs of otter activity. The main telltale sign that I was looking for is spraint. So if you have any doubt as to whether a certain pile of poo originates from an otter or not, then spraint has a not unpleasant smell, and it's a mild smell, so it's quite dissimilar to that of foxscat. And the other useful thing I found is that not many other creatures eat crayfish, so finding the remains of crayfish alongside a riverbank is quite a good indicator that an otter has been there. So I spent, as I said, a few weeks visiting spots and really getting to know the places where otters frequented. I'm at my otter location. I arrived over an hour before dawn, so I've been here a while, and I have just found something absolutely glorious. I've just found some fresh otter spraint, and moreover, next to it is some older spraint, so that shows that this is a site an otter has come back to repeatedly. So I'm so excited.
Okay, it would have been better if this was stage number 2, but I am truthfully recounting the stages in the order in which I did them.
I have tried so many different ways in order to see this otter. I've tried arriving before dawn when it was absolutely pitch black and then sitting waiting without moving at all. I've also tried walking incredibly slowly in the early morning light immediately after dawn. I have tried using trail cameras and converting the project into a camera trap project. One time I had a go at sitting much further back from the water's edge at a site that gave me a view of a large stretch of the river to keep an eye on. And conversely, one time I literally watched one animal track that goes down to the water's edge, because at the end of that track is a site where I have repeatedly found spraint. All the while I'm aware of the direction of the wind, so that I'm keeping my scent blowing away from the area in which I'm looking. and I'm also wearing camouflage. So I have tried quite a few different ways in order to try and see an otter.
By now, I was getting disheartened and yet obsessed. Wanting ottery things to do, I turned a photo I had taken in Scotland of an otter into an illustration, and I watched videos on YouTube, such as those by the very talented Matt Gould, about his trip to the Isle of Mull in search of otters. If you haven't watched these 2 videos, I wholeheartedly recommend them.
Thus far, I have been keeping myself to public footpaths. I have written to some local landowners in order to ask permission to go on their land. I would love a private spot to do some otter photography. It's not really been the best time to be contacting people because of the pandemic, but I have made a few contacts, and that is definitely something that I hope to pursue more in the future. I've just seen an otter. I have just seen an otter and photographed it. And I am speechless. That was absolutely awesome. Oh, yeah, words fail me, basically. Words fail me. I saw her in the distance, and she was on the bank feeding, and she hadn't seen me. She decided to go back into the water and swim, and the direction she chose to swim in was right towards me. She didn't know I was there. I was laying flat on the bank so as to minimise my profile, and she came really close. That was such an awesome encounter, and I got photos. Oh wow, I love otters, absolutely love otters.
After checking the trail camera that morning, I found that it too had been successful. It had finally captured footage of an otter.
So having seen and photographed my first English otter, I can't wait for my next encounter. I would absolutely love to get some more photographs and to be able to put a few more videos together. And that's the thing with wildlife photography, is that it can really ignite a passion in you, and being able to see a project through like this and to be able to see the rewards for all my hard work is absolutely fantastic. So until next time, thank you for watching.